Minnesota! That was the best fight of the series, for now. For core 1. JINWOO and IGRIS was expected to be good, but it definitely surpassed the manhwa for me. Usually when I finish an episode of Soul Leveling, I go and read what comes after, and I didn't expect this fight to be very dynamic. This episode finished chapter 37 to half of chapter 41. The fight was extended a lot. Some original scenes with the other hunters going to the island. Epstein? Okay, no. Also the Jinho scenes talking to his brother and father. I'm not gonna talk much on the content because there's a lot of animation shit to talk about. So yeah. Minnesota! This episode was directed and storyboarded by Takayuki Kikuchi, someone who is affiliated with A1 that also did episode 3 of Soul Leveling, was very involved in Kaguya-sama and did probably the best Kaguya OP visually, which was the movie. For someone who doesn't really do much action episodes, it was very surprising. Episode 3 by Kikuchi was a calm episode, but displayed great framing and an upgrade in the compositing department. This was the same, and the action was ambitious and dynamic, to the next level. Backing the episode with all of the main animators and regulars, a shit ton of animation and assistant animation directors, which makes sense because there's a lot of complex drawings that move a lot. I mean, IGRIS alone was probably such a drag to draw for the animators. Unfortunately, Tomoko Sudo was not here, so the characters sometimes can have that sharp-ass chin, but that's quite nitpicky and doesn't really matter. Kikuchi's understanding of spacing, action choreography, and just how dynamic the fight is was amazing. Some could have been storyboarded by Kano himself, or corrected by Horikatsu Maruyama, since he is the action director for this episode, and props to the 3D team that provided CG backgrounds, just like what they did with episode 4. Incredible job. The direction really sells the tension, especially when Jinwoo entered the room, like with the torch lighting up. The camera work on the IGRIS was so good, and Sawano cooked some new soundtracks, which was nice. Even when if there was no action, the compositing colors really set the vibe of the scene, and they do be dripping though. The opening gate effects was great, where they get the scale of the gate with this bumpy wobbly lightning effects with some nice impact frames, and also with this, I think the statue smiling impact frames, which is nice. The purple color also looks clean. The fights between these monsters slash creatures was still good. Very spacious backgrounds thanks to Kikuchi's storyboards, and the artboards by someone translate really well in the show. You can clearly see how big it is compared to our characters. I think another great recent example of very spacious backgrounds is Frieren. The monsters really resembles previous encounters that Jinwoo had, and using those knowledge to his advantage. Some storyboards are really interesting, and sometimes you should just let the action speak for itself. The subtle wait. Is that CG? To be honest, I don't really care. Does the CG look good? It's okay. Again, these static shots with the camera shaking to give it more impact on the strikes and movements are really good. The small sequence is nice too. You can see the guy on the left like shaking, adjusting himself, and the other one with very bouncy movements. Overall, a lot of subtle movements that I think has a lot of charm in it. Again, very heavy kind of long shot action scenes with added mirrors and camera shake really helped it. This could also, I was looking at this for a while. Is the background all hand-drawn? I do think the walls are hand-drawn because it's melting, which is a given because it's changing perspectives a lot. And I think the floor is 3D? I don't know. Another kind of long shot, very ambitious cut. The way it's choreographed too, you see Jinwoo using the body for protection and the arrow. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if they use some kind of 3D model references for Jinwoo because drawing him moving around and it's changing perspective so much and it doesn't melt and it's fluid as fuck. I swear, I've seen some reactions, people saying, "Bro, this is like a game." Of course it's a fucking game. Do you have an inventory so that you can put your liters of lube? No! Again, the direction really gets the vibe of the fight, and the entrance of IGRIS, they're really using the 3D backgrounds to its advantage so that they can have these type of cuts, and the dogo work is really good for IGRIS shot. IGRIS design looks clean too, and the red absence just to make him look more menacing. The display of speed with the rotation shot, and the slow-mo so that the viewer can take in how fast IGRIS is with masterful camera work. Takawa Mitori's timing really captures the impact with slowing down and releasing. Jinwoo stumbling around with kind of the timing and poses. Again, the 3D backgrounds is composited very well. Jinwoo doesn't feel floaty. His impact frames too, and the small cuts with Utapon cubes, that was nice. This POV shot is crazy. I don't know what to say. The perspective shot and the body language is conveyed so well with the smears. Even though you can't see Jinwoo's face, you can clearly see he's struggling. The rotation shot is so good, and IGRIS is such a complex design, but he moves so much. Really cool action choreographed. The timing on it too. It's presumed to be Tori again. Very Kanada inspired with this inky lines, and when Jinwoo catches his dagger there that was cool. This shot really reminds me of that one freerun cut from episode 9, and just the whole fight really reminds me of that SAO ordinal scale boss fight with the very spacious backgrounds and how they used it. It's kind of the same thing. Also love the Kutsuna lightning here. Can you call this Kutsuna lightning? Some of them are hand-drawn, I think. The first cut is hand-drawn. This is definitely digital effects. Kind of the same thing that Demon Slayer used in season 3. Hajime Nakagawa's cut are really noticeable. His style and shading work really sticks out like a sore thumb. No one touched or AD'd his work, which is amazing. Even Igris looks way more detailed. Can I say I also love the added scenes for Juju Allen raid with some very like nice looking drawings and colors. The speed and the weight of these shots are really great, but again the camera work is so well done. QT really understands spacing. That's what makes Goso's episodes so intriguing. His storyboards does elevate the scenes, and the ora or the right now. Take this shot, so much depth to it. Maruyama sequence conveying Jinwoo's dash with high frame count, done in a mix of 1 and 2s. The camera work and storyboards really does make the scene so much more with the wind effects. The GOAT himself, Kano, did almost 2 minutes worth of animation, which is normal for him, but still crazy output. I don't think he storyboarded his own cuts because it still has Kikuchi's like traits of storyboarding. Maybe he tweaked it a bit to his liking. It goes without saying that his timing and smears are really spectacular with this long body anatomy. I don't know how to say it. His effects too and storyboards are great. The action is so fast, but you can still see what's happening. Again, using the 3D backgrounds to its fullest with them flying around. This long rotation shot and the action choreography is like sometimes slowed down a bit. Like they're punching each other, then Jinwoo charges his punch and repeat that punching again, and then someone gets thrown. It's good because too much back and forth can be a drawback. His smearing work and timing is so good. I keep saying it, but damn, it's so impactful. Also props to the Doga artists, ADs, for making the cuts still fluid and making Igris' drawing very consistent. Also thanks to Hirotaka Tokuda for providing the design for Igris. This part with Jinwoo getting hit with the 1-2 suck my dick with a 10-hit combo, it is nitpicking. The timing is kinda there, but it's not very impactful. It's maybe because the sound effects was very quiet when Igris was punching him, or more so the anticipation was not really there. But still, again, very dynamic shots. I also love that the floor has a reflection. I thought that was a nice detail. You think I'm the king? You're the— wait, how does it go? Love this part, or rather than Jinwoo talking, they cut to his sister and mom because he has a family to go back to. Using the visuals rather than saying, my family. My family need me. Kano again, the camera shake when Igris called his sword. His fluid animation and timing was really nice. The character acting too, the overall body language, Jinwoo just pushing Igris around. I mean, look at this shortcut of Igris. So fluid. The drawings, effects, subtle movements, everything is amazing. The storyboards provided some really nice ideas with the strike replaying for like 3 times. And this showing every skill that Jinwoo is activating was such a unique approach to it. I thought this was a manhwa panel, but no. It's just Kikuchi's storyboards. Of course, the scribbly line style. Kano just probably wanted to try something different like what he did in episode 4. I mean, come on, amazing stylistic choice, and the background is red, making it more vibrant. The impact frames too, I don't know how much there was, but it was a lot. I know normies are going to be like, oh my god, scribbly lines, I like it when impact frames to the impact frames. I'm like autistic. Sorry. There's some good cuts after this, but nothing too crazy. Oh my god, CG. Next episode will hopefully be peak again. I'll just say this real quick. If you don't care about the other characters and just want to watch it for the action, that's fine. But as a manhwa reader, and most manhwa readers, they are fixing the main issue about solo leveling. You can tell a great story, good plot, amazing writing, but the number one thing for me is always enjoyment. I'll probably talk about it in next week's episode, which is probably more fitting because it's the end of the series. I mean, season. And that's probably it. Next week will probably peak again. I mean, the title says it itself. But yeah, if you guys like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what are your thoughts about this episode. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.